Hi. The DBT skill in this video is called Dear Man. It has a lot of letters to it, right? D-E-A-R-M-A-N. I know that if you start doing this, you're going to be using your mind to think, what's the D, what's the E, what's the A, what's the R? But if you do practice it, it'll be automatic. It won't be such a difficult thing to remember, and it will pay off, because this is a skill that helps you in your interactions with other people, whether it be with teachers, with other people who are authority figures, maybe your PO or staff or something like that, but definitely with family and other close relationships, perhaps girlfriends or something like that, somebody you care about. We have options of how to deal with situations that are bothering us. One option is to be aggressive. Aggressive behaviors usually don't lead to very good outcomes, and they often destroy relationships. For example, an aggressive behavior is to attack somebody verbally, saying, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that. And that's aggressive, and it's usually not very friendly and doesn't usually help a relationship, usually hurts. You might have said that to one of your parents. You know, you can maybe think of some times when you were really aggressive because you needed something, you wanted something, or you didn't like something, and you expressed it in an aggressive way. You came across as threatening, and it probably didn't go well. But the opposite can also be a problem. The opposite of aggressive is passive. Passive is when you're a doormat and you kind of let people walk all over you. It's when you say, oh yeah, sure, okay, I don't mind, but really you do mind. And you just don't want to upset the other person. So you say okay, and you say okay, and you say yes a little bit too much. You end up carrying too much of the burden in a relationship. Being passive can be a real big problem. Being aggressive can be a real big problem. The Dear Man technique is to help you be right there in the middle, not aggressive, not passive, but right in the middle, and the word for that is being assertive. We want to be assertive when we express our feelings, our wants, our needs, our desires. So the D in Dear Man reminds us to describe the situation. A description might be something like this. We've been arguing a lot lately. Simple, easy description, but it's also clear and the other person knows what you're talking about. The E stands for expressing your feelings. So to express your feelings in this situation, it might be something like this. That really upsets me. The A is to remind us to assert our desires. So in this case, your desire might be something like this. I'd like for us to find a solution. The R stands for reinforce, or remind the other person what's in it for them if you do this. For example, in this situation, it might be, if we do this, I'll be a lot less grouchy. That's pretty reinforcing for the other person who's probably tired of you being a little bit grouchy. The M reminds us to be mindful of the situation, so to not get sidetracked and let the conversation go this way or that way. Remember the goal, remember the reason you started this conversation. The A stands for appear confident. You know, don't say, I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry I had to bother you with this. It's your thought, your feeling, your desire. Those are valid, those are important and appropriate for you to express in an assertive manner. The last letter in Dear Man is negotiate. That means you need to be willing to negotiate. What does the other person want? You need to be able to listen to them and not push your agenda down their throat. You need to listen and negotiate with them. So it might look like this. I'm not going to say the letters. I'm just going to use the words I would in a real conversation. So I would say, we've been arguing a lot lately, and that really bothers me. I'd like to find a solution, and if we can do that, I'll be a lot less grouchy. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. So that was a quick and easy way to do it. Let me see if I can think of one in a more difficult situation. Let's say your dad says he doesn't want you to ever talk to a certain person again. That certain person's name is Sydney. And Dad says you can't ever talk to Sydney again. But Sydney's been pretty important to you, and Sydney's given you a lot of good advice. And even though you might understand why Dad thinks Sydney is a bad influence, you know a little different side of Sydney that Dad hasn't seen. So you might describe it something like this. Dad, you've cut off contact for me with somebody who's really important in my life, and that's making me feel bad and lonely. I would like to be able to talk to Sydney, at least on the phone, and maybe in a way that you could overhear in case you're worried about the conversation. I think that if you consider that, I'll feel a lot less angry and upset. And I'd really like to hear what you think about my idea. So that could be a way to go through all the Dear Man steps in a situation that could otherwise be really stressful and lead to, even a worse relationship and maybe other negative consequences. So that's the Dear Man skill. I encourage you, even though it's got a lot of letters in it and it sounds like, I don't want to do that, it's too much work. The people I know who use it regularly, it's just part of their conversation. They know how to do it. They don't have to think about it. And they tell me it has helped them so much. They're much more effective in getting what they want, which leads them to feel a whole lot less frustrated. So I hope that you'll take some time, look at the steps, and use it with people who are safe and neutral. I volunteer to be one of those safe, neutral people for you to try out this skill on. Okay? This one's called Dear Man.